And welcome back, everyone. Italk106.7 FM, the voice of the mountain. Your host, Jineane Ford, with Mark Osterman with Stop Lava Run. And Mark, you said something else happened at that meeting you wanted to talk about, too.
Well, yeah, the letter that had come out saying, with the documentation, with Matt Fish dealing with the wind generation companies and this and that, and a little bit of a heated argument going on between his own board and him, why he had done that. But after that, all he did for 10 minutes was sit there and try to explain to everybody what he was doing was for the best interest. Went down, well, I've been, 5 generations here, even though I don't live here, I still consider it my home. I'm hoping I die in this county. I love it so much.
Yeah.
Everything I'm doing is for the best interest. And I'm saying to myself, best interest of who?
Yeah.
It's not the county, it's not the people. And I actually kind of got up and said, when does the public opinion count anymore?
I know, and it's like that Daryl Seymour soundbite we got from the ranchers that were out at that, and he said, we don't have to listen to you, basically, in a nutshell. Call to public is a privilege, not a, we don't have to even have it, if you guys are going to say the same stuff over and over again. Well, the reason they're saying the same stuff over and over again, everyone is panicked. They're like, wait a second, what have you guys done? We're going to be covered in these things, and the ranchers are basically, the sad thing, folks, that you I don't know if you understand, is that the ranchers are being told, because Katie Hobbs, see, our supposed boards of supervisors and all this kind of stuff, that they might have a label of Republican and conservative, but no, they're all Green New Deal. It's like so sad that, and they're writing with Katie Hobbs and the lands department, that the lands, the lady that's in charge under Katie Hobbs for the state lands, they're basically telling ranchers, sorry, this section's going to be covered in solar panels and you lose your ranch land. There are ranchers losing their sections of ranch and grazing privileges because of the solar fields, which have to be fenced in and nothing can run through them. Okay. And under the turbines, they leak oil. They have 110 gallons of crude oil cruising through them. They're filthy. And the whole thing is super, super sad, because we're totally being taken, and a lot of people are caught off guard. We're kind of behind the 8 ball. Like you say, things are hidden until the last second and they slide them in. We don't have any authority. Our hands are tied. So,
who tied those hands? Yourself.
Right, because you want them. You want the wind turbines in the solar fields. Yes, absolutely. And you've been promoting them through LAZ for years. Yes.
I have kind of heard here lately that, because it is supposedly, according to the state rules, it's illegal for people that lease trust land to do a sublease to somebody else. They're not supposed to do that. It's been a little rampant. Supposedly they're cracking down on it, but these ranchers are figuring that out, and I've heard that some of them, that have this lease land, they are bypassing the so-called sublease, and these people are turning it into compensation on the land they're leasing for the loss of feed for their cattle. Not a sublease, just compensation. And it's the same thing as a sublease. These guys are basically letting them give them money to use the same thing they're leasing. So it is a sublease, but they're getting by with it.
But the state lands department also wants them, because there's more money in it for them. I don't know what those negotiations are, but there's a lot more money in it for them. That's why the state lands, if the rancher doesn't want to play along, that's why they're afraid. Some of them will not come on my radio show. They're afraid. They're staying quiet because they're afraid if they don't play along with Katie Hobbs and the state lands and putting up solar and wind and all this stuff, if they don't play along, okay, then, and that's only if they have wind turbines. The solar fields you can't graze on anyway, because they're all fenced off. But the thing is that if they don't play along, they lose their lease. And there's one rancher I talked to. He's 4th generation, and he's losing his lease. And one of his leases, is that the ranch over in Navajo County? Yeah, there's a couple of ranchers over here in Navajo County. They're just terrified, and
I've heard that.
yeah, and
That's
they're
just
very worried. They've been on the radio show here, and the sad part, Andy Biggs is so against these wind turbines and all of this, and he says, we have to worry about our food security too, and they're just trashing all of our ranch land. It's like Wink Kriegler at X Diamond Ranch. She's testified on this, and she's begging people to wake up. You're trashing all our ranch lands with these things, and not to mention our Coconino Aquifer with all the tumors under the ground that are going to be leaching into the aquifer. I mean, it's really crazy that we're just jumping out there cutting our nose off to spite our face for a scam, just to get the $98 billion.
and you know what? I'm sure you've noticed it too. Is when these things first started, stuff. I mean, the people that were out there when these things, it was all about the clean air. Do you hear any of that anymore? There's nothing out there. Nobody coming up saying, well, they all know that these plants ain't shutting down. So nobody's coming out there to do these for clean air. They're doing it for the money. Nobody cares anymore because they know the plants aren't going to change. And if the ones that are changing, they're changing to the good with the natural gas and stuff. So what else can it be except the money? There is nothing.
It's a giant money grab. But the thing is, I want to know, where is the giant pot of money for all of us all of the property values will just tank when we're covered with windmills, wind turbines.
Yeah.
And
also,
where's the warning from, and in the disclosure statements from realtors, buyer beware. There's 8,500 potential wind turbines coming all across Navajo and Apache. I did ask them, I said, can you give us a map of where we would be safe from wind turbines? And they can't do it. Nobody's giving us a map.
And I've tried to mention to the county in some of the meetings, you guys don't get it. You think you're going to get money out of this. You think people are going to sit around and not do anything because you put these up that didn't want them and things start happening? No, you're going to. That's when the lawsuits are going to start coming in. That money you're going to get out there ain't even going to come close to covering what you're going to get sued over.
And that's the big thing is somehow we have to find some attorneys, some legal experts, some people that could take up this cause and start to sue. And I've heard you try to sue them as individuals, that they're in violation of their, we've talked to Steve Carvajal and different people about this, and there's a couple of attorneys. And if there's a way, we can start our own lawsuits. Because if the county keeps saying that they're afraid that they'll be sued by these companies, and some of the companies say, sue us, we're putting them up anyway. And all they have to do, guys, is build them. They don't ever have to be used, and they get all the money. That's what you have to realize. Yeah. They don't even have to have a contract. Our counties don't even have to have a contract, a guarantee that they're going to be used on the big towers. They don't have to be a manager contract. They have to say, oh, well, we're in this for 2 years. We'll pay your property tax in advance of 2 years. And then what happens after that? They just stand for time and alternity and trash the ground,
Yes. And if they put them up, even if they take a little bit of power, and the power plants, which they are going to eventually do, because they're not going to be able to supply enough power for the near future, because of all the AI stuff and everything that's coming into this, and they're going to shut those things down in order to supply the power they need for reliable and dependability. That's the first thing they're going to do, is shut them down. And if you shut them things down,
and you're absolutely right.
Do you think these people are going to come back because they got shut off and clean them up? Ain't no way. And their lawyer will tear apart even the state attorney's office.
Oh yeah.
No,
they never
we
have.
We put these up.
Yeah.
Your power grid, your corporate commission shut us off.
Yep.
You want them down, you go take them down.
And then all the little the bonds all fail. These have all failed all over the world. Anything that's a kind of and I've always said there has to the only thing that can protect for really to remediate them out of the soil. And get this, worldwide, only 15% of these nasty things over 50 years have been remediated out of the ground because they're too expensive to dig out. That 40 tons. So our counties say, okay, they can just rub 3 feet of dirt over the top of them, and each of these giant tumors can just stand for time and all eternity underground. ruining our lands, ruining the soil. So if you really were a greenie, and that's what makes me sad, is to have these all across the lands, ruining the grazing lands, ruining everything, and they just rub a little dirt over the top of them, and they stay there for time and all eternity, just rotting. I mean, what are we thinking about our future generations? It's anything but green.
It's amazing the most of greenies out there, because I've tried to get with some of them to get backing on this because of the destruction of the land, and it's amazing that they are more into having some clean air than destroying all the land out there, period. Now, what kind of green person is that?
Yeah, they're not thinking. Yeah, no, and I think they're probably part of the whole cult thing too. Yeah, it's really sad. And a lot of these huge green, a lot of these companies have said we made a mistake. They've said this in recent days. Trump is even posting about it. And so we have to end because we're out of time, but we all have to continue to write, because give Andy Biggs your support, because he's against this. Write to him about your concerns. Eli Crane, all of your state lawmakers, because our county board of supervisors, they're not doing anything for us, okay? So we have to really, really write all of our state and national, and please keep sending emails to Trump. Please, are you doing anything to save us from these wind turbines? And because he hates the Green New Lie. And please, Trump, are you doing anything? And maybe the thing over 100 feet with the Defense Department will come through. Maybe there's somebody bigger than our local board of supervisors that have their hands tied and can't do anything for us, apparently. You know, we have to keep writing and screaming and keeping our voices loud. Okay?
Yeah.
Mark, thank you so much.
You're exactly right.
You are awesome, and keep us posted on any new stuff, okay? All righty,
Thanks
everybody.
For having me on, Jineane.
Thank you so much, Mark. All righty, everybody. Keep it right here. Italk 106.7 FM, the voice of the mountain.